when we built our first network, it was here in New York City. It was with 35 organizations focused on the veteran population. We've obviously expanded to all Medicaid, Medicare, and so forth. And we had to get them to agree to work together on a technology system, right? And so that was our first feat to do that. And then we had to get them to agree on what data are they actually securely sharing? What is an outcome when a hospital, VA hospital, refers to a housing organization, or a housing organization refers to the employment agency? What do they want to receive back and close the loop? How do they want to receive that data, not read through thousands of notes? They'd agree on a standard. So that network, that 35 organizations in New York City, is now almost, I think, over 1,000. And it's, that's our longest standing network. It was our first one, but it's grown obviously rapidly. The last 3 or 4 years, the world with COVID, especially, I'm sure we'll talk about that more, has basically shined a light on the lack of infrastructure, right, to support the growing needs of people. And so the adoption rate obviously is very different than it was 10 years ago, but we had to start there, and we had to start with the right problem to solve. What we saw in the market was what I was doing. I was looking at what the resources out there were, but no one was connected to actually coordinate and solve and prove that people ever got services. So, the last 3 years, obviously very different than 10 years ago when we had to really convince. Now, do we still need to do that? Of course. We are changing the way people, behave in their jobs, right? And so it takes change management, it takes them understanding, it takes multiple conversations, and that's okay. We are willing to do that. We are building a generational change on how we actually receive care, and we define care very differently in our world. And so we're willing to obviously make that bet for generational change.